are spending less and less time on data and crunching. For my organization, I think the procurement person or the people that we look at, they need to understand the product, what the company does.
Well, it depends how you look at procurement for the future. The way we look at it is that when we would be able to use more advanced systems, the role of procurement will change into more like category management in retail. Making sure the right suppliers are on the platform before people want to use them. And for that reason, we need different people. People with a different attitude, people who are understanding the business, quite right what you're saying, are able to translate business plans into what third parties do I need in the future, making sure that they are qualified, risk assessed, pre-contracted and available.
I get quite cross with this whole talk about talent and the war for talent. The future of work is a very different set of educational requirements. What we need is people to recognize that if they don't equip themselves with new tools, new understanding, learn how to code, learn what data visualization means, learn regression analysis, knowledge has never been as cheap as it is today. If people are not motivated to take up that knowledge, they're never going to learn.
Yeah.
And if they're never going to learn, they're probably going to be highly statistically likely to be made redundant in the next 10 to 15 years. So for me, it's not so much about the lack of talent, it's that generally speaking, the skill sets that we need for the future of work are in short supply.
Yeah.
And what we as leaders need to do, I think, is motivate our teams to understand you need to change your skills.
Yeah.
The skills that you got were deficient.
It might not be lack of talent, but what you yourself was saying about we're kind of the policeman that everyone's trying to avoid, so therefore you never really get to add value. Maybe this is a cynical thing to think, but often that's kind of a type of person, and that's the way they do things.
Yeah.
And getting them to suddenly become a innovator and a stakeholder management person is quite hard. So it might not be so much about talent, but the right kinds of people, some more business people.
And that's what you've got to decide is, does my business want me to be that sort of an innovator? Do they expect that of the procurement function? If the answer is no, then you've probably got the right people for the job today.
Yeah.
Because if you've got a procurement organisation that isn't expected to do anything but beat up suppliers and be a process junkie, then what's wrong with it? That's right. Yeah. What's wrong with the talent that you've got? If, however, you've got an organisation that does want procurement to, bring insights or, bring more value or contribute to top-line revenue growth, then maybe your current composition needs to evolve.
It's all very well we say we've got machine learning, we've got AI. Somebody's got to train the machines. Somebody's got to be able to create the algorithms that are going to be able to do what you want to do. Somebody's got to be able to interpret the data. Some of you may be familiar with this concept of DIKW, data, insight, knowledge, wisdom. To get there, somebody's got to be able to interpret it. And the skill sets, again, are very different because there's almost a translation layer as well.